terms of trends, we see for app developers, it's increasingly competitive and difficult. Average cost per install is up to $4. So all the math that people are always doing in their heads in the app development world is my cost to acquire less than the long-term value I can generate? So what we see is a lot of, it's getting harder and harder to do that through paid user acquisition. You have to find some unique ways to acquire new users, and you have to really focus about every single user you acquire at every stage of the funnel. How do you minimize the loss? So you can focus a lot more on retention to keep every new user that you get. It's really bustling. We've met lots of app makers this week, and I've met lots of people who are actually not just planning on launching one single app, but are planning on launching lots and lots of apps. So I think that that's a trend that we see, is there's lots of agencies that are making it really easy for someone who wants an app to have one. So I think a lot of velocity. In India, I think that, well, I see more opportunities, frankly, than challenges. I've talked to so many people from government, from industry, infrastructure, and the apps, the entrepreneurs themselves. The ecosystem's coming together so quickly. I think maybe the challenge is just, with everything moving so quickly, how do you stay abreast of all the things that are happening? We have a great team here today. We do lots of community-based events. This is how we build awareness. And it's also how we give back to the tech community. We try to share best practices because we're all in this together. So we learn a lot at every one of the meetups we do. It's very community-focused. When we think about India, we're starting to, we started off in the main markets. We started in Bangalore, Mumbai, and we're starting to reach out now to some of the other cities like Chennai and Pune. Well, to be honest, most of the work that we do, when we do an event or a meetup, we do it in English. So it seems like that has worked pretty well for us. We haven't had to localize that. I think app developers are used to having to deal with English because a lot of the documentation that people rely on is in English.
It's been brilliant. It's a fantastic event, and the kind of people who walked into our stall and the interaction that we had at the stall are just unmatchable. I think we have been across several events in the last 1 year.
We have recently launched our version 2.0 of the process that we follow. It is essentially a startup launch accelerator which we are trying to help startups to launch